After much deliberation, I'm ready to announce my 2022 mining stock for the rest of the year, my top pick for the rest of the year. I'm going to tell you who, but more importantly, why. Come on, let's go. Welcome to Ron's Basement. I'm glad you're here. As you look around, you'll notice there's not a crystal ball. So do not make any investment decisions based upon the insightful information that I am about to share with you today. As a matter of fact, you're looking at my crystal ball. So consider the source. Who is my 2022 mining stock pick for the rest of the year? Fortuna Silver. In the U.S., the symbol's FSM. I believe in Canada, it's FVI. There's a number of reasons why I think 2022, the remainder of the year, could prove very lucrative for investors in Fortuna Silver. First, let's take a look back at 2021. It was a very difficult year for Fortuna. I actually heard the CEO jokingly say that he started 2021 with blonde hair and he ended the year with gray hair that he has now. They were dealing with COVID. They were dealing with ramping up a mine in Argentina. They were dealing with some outrageous government moves that occurred in Mexico. They were dealing with a major acquisition of Rox Gold, which I'll talk a little bit more later in the video. They just had a lot of big challenges. And actually, they emerged in the fourth quarter with record revenues and record EBITDA. So the year was not a complete loss by any stretch of the imagination. The stock currently is trading at about half of what it was 1 year ago. And I think that the market is applying way too steep of a discount to the value represented by Fortuna. Okay. Another thought that I had, and look, I don't have any inside information. I'm not paid to make these videos. These are just my kind of feelings from reading about the company, reading other people's comments about the company, and watching interviews with the management and CEO of the company. But I just have a feeling, the fourth quarter had record revenue. The profit wasn't super high. They did a lot of write-offs in the fourth quarter. And I think that since 2021 had been such a challenging year for the company, they maybe did a little bit of what's called kitchen sinking, throw out everything but the kitchen sink type thing. Like if, 2021 was kind of a write-off year anyway, we might as well take as many charges as we can at the end of the year. I have a suspicion that they were setting themselves up for great growth throughout 2022. And hey, we're already almost at the end of the first quarter. Last year they had great production, great improvement at their major mine in Argentina, Lindero. Their Mexican mine, despite the fact that they were dealing with some interesting government regulator issues, still did very well. Their mine in Peru did very well. And their African mine is doing okay, good, but they have another mine that they're in about a year, a little over a year. They have another mine in Africa that they're going to be opening. Balance sheet, I'll just say this about the company. They have a rock solid balance sheet, very little debt. So you don't really have any material risk of this company going bankrupt, or if the metals prices collapse, they can survive. They have survived. The CEO is, and I've heard other people say this, there's a great interview by Arcadia Economics with Dave Kranzler and Jorge Ganoza, the CEO of Fortuna. I'd highly recommend you watch that if you're interested in this company. And I know Dave said this, and I agree 100%. The CEO of Fortuna, Jorge Ganoza, is just a top-notch guy. The guy was born in a mining camp. His family has been in mining for generations. He's not a overly promotional salesman. I mean, it's just like, hey, in the long run, I get this feeling with him like his goal is to deliver value and doesn't need to create a lot of noise in the interim, or a bunch of BS promotional type stuff in the interim. Sure, he'll talk positively about the company, but what he's focused on is delivering value to the shareholders, and that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm just really optimistic about the company. Two things I'll touch on. The fourth quarter was record revenues, okay? The gold price and the silver price were significantly lower in the fourth quarter of 2021 as opposed to what we've seen in the first quarter of 2022. We're almost at the end of the first quarter of 2022. Unless there was a major production shortfall, which I see no reason for that to be the case, the company should report again record revenues and I think record profits. That's my prediction for the first quarter. And I think 2022, if the gold and silver price even just stay where they are, we're going to have blockbuster numbers coming out of Fortuna. One last thing about the company. Some people sometimes knock them because they haven't done a lot of exploration and they don't have huge amount of reserves and resources. I think they have like 3 million ounces of gold in reserves and maybe 20 million of silver in reserves and resources. They never have, is what I've read about the company. They've never been a company that they always kind of manage things like 5 or 10 years into the future, which is fine with me. But there is outstanding potential for them in West Africa. They have a huge land package. That's a region of the world that is producing, as a region, almost as much as China produces in gold every year, and China is the #1 producer of gold. They have some really great prospects for exploration, which gold that they would find in the future could be milled at the new mine that they're building. Things just look very optimistic in Africa. And I think, I know for myself, like when I first heard, oh, they're going to Africa, oh, it's crazy there. I think paradoxically, the opposite is true. I actually heard Jorge say that in West Africa, you've got governments that are very pro-mining. So, whereas 2 years ago, you might have thought, oh, Mexico is a great place to mine. Well, it's turned out lately not to be such a great place to mine because the government's giving the miners a real headache. Africa is becoming a very mining-friendly place, okay? Now, look, we all know there's plenty of risk with mining stocks. The price of precious metals, company-specific issues could turn up. But I think Fortuna is going to deliver in 2022. I hope I'm right. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you being here in the basement with me. You're always welcome. I look forward to your comments. And if you'd like to subscribe, you can do that right there. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.